Fair warning, before you watch this video, this video is a collection of like an idea and multiple days of trying to make this idea work and then changing my mind and then trying something else while also trying to keep a hold of everything that I tried the day before. And this might be a little bit of a ADHD mess. Oopsie poopsie. But it's the first video, okay? Expectations on the ground, the floor, hell even. Okay, keep them there and everything else will seem great. And hopefully you enjoy the video. Hopefully. I'll see you at the end of the video. Good early morning, late evening, everybody. It is 11:39 p.m. I have been up since 7 a.m. And while that might seem like that's not so bad, I slept about 4 hours last night, technically, and I am dead tired. But I am a bit of an insomniac, so I can't sleep. I'm tired, but I can't sleep. Not great. So I think I'm gonna spend this time up and awake working on my girlfriend's gift for our anniversary in a few days. And the gift is going to be annotating my very first book, which is the very first book she ever requested I read or recommended that I read, House Miss Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. I have loved this book. I've wanted to reread this book for a very long time. And now that I'm rereading this book, I want to annotate for the very first time. I want to try. I think it'd be really fun to try. And what better time to annotate a book than at 11 o'clock at night and you have work in 8 hours. So let's get started. To annotate the book, you got to have a few things. Number one, highlighters. I think pink and green will look the best in this book, so we're going to use these colors. You also need pens to write your notes, thoughts, and feelings in this book. And we have two types of pens. I'm going to use these very, very nice and very shitty pens that my stepmom bought for me in a very, very large pack 2 years ago that I never used. But I love the size of them. And there's something about shitty pens that honestly, when I write with them, my handwriting comes out better. I don't get it, but it works. So I'm gonna do that one. I also have this blue Papermate Inkjoy pen. I have this one specifically because it kind of goes aesthetically with the book. Love that for myself. And I don't know. I think there's gonna be some moments in this book, again, where I'm gonna write and I need it to be in blue. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm gonna have them. Now, I also have a little journal on the side. And the reason why I have this is because I have what is known as squirrel brain. I am somebody who talks and thinks very, very quickly and has a tendency to change their mind while talking and reading and writing everything. So I want to plan out what I want to say while reading the book. And while there's a lot of space in the margins of this book, for example, random page, that is a lot of space to work with, okay? A lot of space. I'm taking off my glasses. I feel like the reflection is gonna bother me. But we're writing with pens and I don't wanna mess this up. So planning it out, double checking to make sure this is how I wanna say it, and then planning it out. I'm super nervous. I'm really nervous because this is my very first time annotating a book and then I've never really done it before. And it's also a gift that I have to give to somebody in 5 days. My girlfriend. Also this book is roughly like 400 pages. Now, while I could read this book in a week, I have to read and annotate this book in less than 5 days. I'm so nervous. I'm so scared, but I want to try. And I want to record the process, my first time. For some reason. Don't ask me why, okay? It's late, all right? I'm a mess. Let's just move on. I just realized I never really explained how I'm going to do this video. This book is very big and I have a lot of time on my hands to do this, but while I could record myself for 20 plus hours and give you a wonderful time lapse, I think it's going to be a terrible fucking idea. So instead, I'm just going to keep you all updated every few chapters, show you my progress, talk about it. Give kind of a progress report. And you know what? I also just want to see, will I do this again for myself at the end of this? I have a sneaking suspicion no. And just thought about it right now. Funny enough, I've actually been doing this myself with my girlfriend for the past 2 weeks on accident. I have pictures, I'll put them up on the screen. I've been rereading the ACOTAR series, and correction, not rereading. I've been reading the ACOTAR series. It's my girlfriend's favorite series. She reads it all the time, and I wanted to get into it. I've been getting into it. I have been loving it. And while I'm reading it, like early morning, like 6 a.m., I will take a picture and highlight on my phone a certain line multiple times and text her going, what the fuck is happening? Continuously. So with that thought, I'm actually not as nervous. I've been doing it a while and she loves it. She loves it when it's just for fun and cutesy and it's just a good time. So I think my goal and all I have to do is worry about having a good time rereading the book and have a fun time putting down my thoughts and feelings in this book. So let's see how this goes. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm actually getting sleepy now. So far I'm about 50 pages in, so I'm like an eighth of the way through. And so far, not much has happened in the book that I've wanted to annotate. I have decided on what I want the pink highlighter to be and what the green highlighter to be. I think the pink highlighter is gonna be fun stuff. Stuff that I find is funny, entertaining. Usually there are little jokes, and there's already been a couple things in here that I have found really funny. For example, this is really immature, but it's just funny. And it's just a line right there that says, the older the children get, the more they do things. And I must be delirious because all I wrote was, LOL, if that ain't the truth. My sense of humor. What else? Ooh, okay. A couple pages later, I'm using the black pen to actually underline some of the words, or like, there are certain parts, like a line, that, really hurts. So for example, I underlined this line that says, he learned early on in life that if he didn't speak, people often forgot he was there or even existed. And I wrote on the side of that, my first heartbreak for Linus, who's the main character. So far I've kind of used pink stuff for jokes and the black pen for notes and just little lines like, oh my gosh, read this. Kind of a thing. And, oh, wait, found it. So, another thing right here. You can see that one. Little brackets. The black line, I think it's also really good. I think I'm gonna use the black lines for notes and just sad stuff. Like stuff that's like, ooh, like you need to read all of this. Instead of highlighting everything, because I feel like aesthetically it'll be a little bit easier to ingest and look better. It won't be as busy. So, but I'm about 50 pages in on chapter 4 now, which I love. It is now 1:30 in the morning and I do have work, but I also need to get this done. So I think my goal right now is to read another 50 pages or the next chapter after 100 pages and get a fourth of the book done tonight and then go to bed, wake up early tomorrow, and then try to read a little bit more and get stuff done. But I'll let you know how the next 50 pages go. No, actually, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. It's 2 o'clock. I have read a whole chapter. Only 20 pages in than last time, and I'm too tired. So I'm gonna go to sleep now, and then try to do more of this tomorrow with my eyes being able to open. I'm sorry. Hopefully better quality content tomorrow. Good night.
Good morning, you rapscallions. It is officially 7:57 a.m. I have slept my mandated 5 hours of rest. Oh, God. So far, I have done 70 pages and started my annotating journey. 2 things. 1, I feel like a bad girl for writing in books after being taught my entire life not to do that. So I don't know. I feel like a rebel. But no, if I'm being honest, my anxiety about this is kind of spiking a little bit. But I'm still trying, which matters the most. Number 2, so far, my first impressions of annotation, not that bad. I'm not sure if I like it or not. The way that I'm doing it is how my girlfriend does it, where she annotates more for fun, not for like the plot and characters. It's more about like, moments or stuff that you read in the character. That kind of like, whoa, what's going on kind of vibe. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little bit worried because of how little I've written in the book so far. But bitch, we're only 70 pages in. We're going to have more pages to write in. And if I have to, off of my memory, if I had to assume when I start actually coloring in the lines here, somewhere between the halfway point and the ending that's just going to be a rainbow. Absolutely rainbow. And I can't wait. Okay, so 8 a.m. I have 2 hours to get to work, which means I have an hour and 45 minutes to read and annotate as much as possible before I go to work. So let's just get to it, dude. I have to go to work, but I'm very sad. I wish I was staying home to read. I'm loving this book already. But I have to. It's part of the job. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to. I am loving rereading this book. Hold on, glare. I am loving rereading this book. The story is so cute so far. Well, not cute so far, but the characters you've just met are really adorable, and I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go. But I have to for money and for more books. So it's worth it, I guess. So I went to work that day, very long day, and I had this thought, this idea. Well, let me explain. See, at work, I had enough time to really think about what I was doing with this video, and I had the idea that I wanted to show this video to my girlfriend because this gift is for my girlfriend, and I wanted to show it to her before I gave her the book. And I felt like if I showed her the video before I gave her the book, she would see all the fun stuff in it. Now we're here. A couple of days later, quick review. After that day, I was so dead tired. I only read the book for about 30 minutes, and then I think I fell asleep on my couch. So I didn't do anything. The next day I woke up and I was a little bit defeated. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like I was so behind already because trying to keep up with 100 pages a day, getting this all done by Thursday, so that way I can have this video out by Sunday was the challenge. But I came home. That day, I finished it. 30 minutes is all I did. I read. The next day, I woke up and I was way too tired to do anything in the morning. But afternoon, I came home, sat down at my desk, cracked open a Monster to feed the growing caffeine addiction my girlfriend has got me going into, and I got to work. And that day, Wednesday night, the entire book was completely highlighted and written in and ready to go for the next step of the process. Thursday comes around. And I have to tab this book. My girlfriend does not like tabs. Not really. She's somebody who finds it to be very distracting. But also, when you have the tabs sticking out of the book and you put it into the bookshelf, it kind of just like ruins the aesthetics of it already. So what she does is that she takes highlighter and highlights the edges of the page, in colors. So I copied that as well. But then I had this idea or this thought that there are tons of pages in the book that are written in black ink and then blue ink. And I don't have a black marker or a blue highlighter. So I had this idea. I have these sticky notes that I bought when I bought all the materials for this project. And I had this idea to just kind of make tabs out of them. So what I did was I cut them in half and then I cut them into like little strips as I went on. And then anytime I found black ink, I would use an orange label and just simply stick it onto the edge and fold it over. And then she'd have this kind of fun texture on the outside of the pages. That way she could like feel it. And then for anything that had blue ink, I used a yellow tab. The blue ink is supposed to be happy stuff and happy things I find in the book that make me really happy. And yellow is a happy color to me because it's one of my favorite colors. So blue and yellow kind of go together. And also, looking at it now, the yellow is matching of the front cover kind of. So throughout the book, you look on the edges right now, you can see that there is tons of pink and green and little bits and pieces, little bumps everywhere of orange and yellow. And I'm not gonna lie, the entire book has a lot more annotation, like notes and highlighter, than I thought there would be. I was actually really worried that in the beginning there wouldn't be anything in this book to, really have my thoughts and feelings into, especially in the beginning. But surprisingly, there was so much that I had found really interesting or funny or had something to say about it that the entire book is basically colored. There's so much on the edges of the book. It's basically all colored, which is so cool in my opinion. So I would say mission is accomplished. The book is now annotated, is noted, and now you've seen some examples, but not too many. Girlfriend, I know you're watching this video, and I want it to be a big surprise. So you're gonna have to read the book to see what I wrote in the book. And now we're here. A couple days later, I think I'm a couple hours away from giving her the book and everything. We met the deadline, technically. Couple things. How do I feel about annotation? In the beginning, I was a little bit concerned. I was afraid to mess up the book. And even though there's no real wrong way to annotate, I was still really worried about how good my penmanship was going to be. I feel like I have decent handwriting in cursive, but I was writing in print. It felt sloppy. And I was really worried that she wasn't going to like it, that she's not going to like it. But going back over the book a couple times, it's pretty obvious what I've written down. It is legible. So, woo! Oh, dash pose. Sorry. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was fun, interesting, maybe not too crazy to where you kind of, were like, what's happening? I've recently gotten to the reading game maybe a year and a half ago, and I've really enjoyed myself. And reading has become such a big part of my life, and I've started to now ingest and see a lot more book talk and booktube stuff, and I'm really enjoying it. And I've been trying to do more creative stuff over the last year, and I think I found something that I want to try to do. Ta-da! Now we're here. Awesome. And I really like it. So I hope to make another video soon. I have a couple ideas in here. I will work on those, and I hope to see you guys there in the next one. Yeah. I don't know how to end the video, so we're going to try the first thing that comes to my brain. Got it. Bye.